Uh, Getting Javi and Markey back, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, they're two of our guys have probably been the most consistent through the season in terms of, but they're also, Javi and his emotion and his passion is also important for our group, just in terms of the locker room and in terms of just the group in the match. When you see him up top and he's battling and scrapping and fighting for things, I think it's helpful for the group to see that and to have him. And obviously his emotion and passion comes out in the locker room and everywhere else. And so obviously nice to have him back, there's no question. And Mark has been the engine room of our midfield all season. And with him not out there, I feel like, as I've said, since we've come back from the break, Ryan's had some injury issue. Mark's had the issue with the head and then the sickness. So he's been inconsistent since we've come back. And I've been saying for 6 months we're a little bit light in the midfield. We still need to add a player, which is great because Gastón arrives now, which gives us that added strength in midfield that I believe that this group needs. And it's hard to play the way we want to play, which is to control the ball, control possession if you can't control the midfield. And so I think we've suffered a little bit from that over the last few games as a group. And it's just for us to regroup and get going and not allow the last couple of results to get to us emotionally. We just have to recognize that that's where we were in the moment, and we didn't manage the whole situation perfectly, but we still have a very good group. We have a lot of quality. We've got the additional midfielder now that, if for whatever reason Markey isn't quite on, or if Ryan's a little off, we still have one more of those guys who can really cover ground and can help us to control the midfield. It's huge with the way we want to play. So having both of those guys back, having Gastón in, by and large, hopefully we are healthy and can stay healthy, then I feel like our group is together and we're ready to start to move forward.
What have you seen from Gastón, just in limited sort of training that you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, it was yesterday he came in to do a little work on his own, and I worked with him. And then today, and he's a mature player, smart, technically efficient. He's very aware of his surroundings in terms of game reading and game understanding and what are the priorities in a moment, whether that's to keep possession, try to make the final pass, game reading to block passes, whether to press or to stay. It's these types of decisions where you're in the game and you have to adapt on the fly, that his experience, his awareness, his qualities will help our group. Again, another guy who also has an engine to cover territory in the middle of the field. And he's also good at recovering balls, and he also brings us something on the free kick side that maybe we haven't had on a consistent basis. Yesterday, just doing free kicks, he was very consistent at putting the ball in good spots, which can help us. So there's a lot of things, and I think as he settles in the group and he gets to know each other more, then I think he'll, as all guys do, their personalities start to emerge from that, because I've already seen him kind of directing people and moving them around. Today's a little different because there's a lot going on out here today, and so he's not only integrating into the team, but he's actually meeting fans and they're watching him train. So it's a lot today, just from a stimulus standpoint for a guy who's new. But really just super excited. Like I said, I've been watching him for a couple of years. I really feel like his skill set suits our group.
What's his possibilities for Sunday, if any?
Yeah, he'll be involved. That's the expectation. He's arrived. He's fit. Just want to give him the opportunity this week again to integrate with his teammates. We'll see how the week progresses and how he feels training session after training session, how he recovers, things like that. But my anticipation is he'll be involved. On what level, we'll see as the week progresses.
How about his fitness level?
Good. I mean, he's been doing the work and communicating with our guys naturally. Just as a player, he's a ground cover and a runner and somebody who's fit. I don't know if that means he's 90 minutes fit, but he certainly has. Between yesterday, which wasn't an easy session, and today, he didn't run into physical problems in the last couple of days. So, what does that translate into minutes? I just want to see how the week progresses and how he recovers from each day, and that'll give us a better indication physically where he's at.
Greg, what did you make of the spirit and intensity in today's training?
Yeah, it's good. Again, it's the first day back, and the guys have been off for 2.5 days, and so the first day back always takes a second to get all of your resources kind of firing again. So that's usually why we don't do anything tactical on the first day back, because the guys aren't really in that mindset. So I think the competitive side started to progress as the day started to build on, and any of these days where we're playing for a winner, guys start to really get into it. So I was pleased, but today was about that. Today was about getting into it, competing again, getting our mindset, starting tomorrow, we're going to really focus on our tactical preparation as we prepare for Atlanta.
Coming off of 3 losses in a row, what do you see from this team? Do you see a team that's trying to rebound from that, or maybe a little bit in their heads, knowing that they've given up 3 games in a row?
I mean, I think it's natural to emotionally be in a frustrated place. I think that's normal, but I think the key is to use that frustration to come out and compete and to push yourself a little bit more, for each of us just to take a quick peek in the mirror to make sure that we have our priorities right, and as we come back and we start up again. And for me this week is just to make sure that that the clarity is there for everybody in terms of their roles and in terms of how we want to approach this game, so that they can feel confident and comfortable to go in and not just execute upon it. You know, I thought we were managing a few gaps, I thought, in RSL, which just meant that we were you go in at altitude and you're already gonna lose a percentage of your high speed, high intensity work just by virtue of playing Wednesday and then playing in altitude. And then I thought we just had a few gaps that we didn't manage great. So I think we got to leave that behind us, take away what we need from it, and really continue to focus on. But just the presence of seeing some of the guys come back into the group is also a boost for everybody to look around and say, okay, we're back together now, and it's time to move forward.
Atlanta's another team that's kind of had its ups and downs, but they've gotten points out of what, three or four games now. What do you see in them, and do you see them getting better?
I think they're a talented team. There's no question. I mean, the amount of players of quality that they have that fill out their roster is certainly intriguing for them. It seems like one guy goes down and there's some next guy that comes up, and I don't even know where he comes from, but he's there. And so I watch him and I see a talented team that that sometimes is maybe in their inconsistencies is also trying to gel together and trying to. There's a secret sauce about winning in MLS sometimes. It's a league where, because of the parity, because of the challenges when you travel, because of different things, that it can be inconsistent until you find that foundation and you get on a run, and then you start to see teams find some of that consistency. So the hope for us is they haven't found that, and that's the one thing that we're kind of seeking as a group. But certainly they're a talented team that can play well, and they can also make mistakes and give up things. So our job is really this week, truthfully, is really to focus on us and to focus on our preparation and the detail that we need out of this.
With 14 games left.
15, right?
14, right? Because we're at 20, and so 34.
Or we have the San Jose makeup, or is that not part of it?
No, I mean, that is, you're at 20, so
okay.
it is.
Okay,
but it's 14, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because it's 34. Okay. You also have a friendly in there. Maybe you're counting that one. Okay.
I was going through.
Okay,
can we get points for that one?
No, you can't.
Okay.
No, you can't.
No, in my head I just had 15.
15.
Okay.
You were right. You do have to play 15.
Okay.
Just only 14
Sure.
of them count. So with the 14 games left,
yep.
Knowing sort of the point totals that you guys had last year, right around 48, if you do the math, we're about 21 points that you need to match next year or last year. Is there some urgency in knowing that while there's 14 games left, there's not a whole lot of real estate between now and the end of the season? Everything's coming here pretty quickly?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think if you look at it just at a pure points total, then I would say, yeah, there's obvious urgency. I think the league this year is a little bit different than maybe it was in the past. I think there's a lot of teams beating each other, and that's why you got a lot of teams grouped together. And there's 2 teams that have really kind of separated themselves a little bit more from the group. So I don't know what the point total is going to be at the end, but you have to play every game to take as many points as possible and separate yourself from wherever that line is as much as possible in the process. So is there urgency? Yes, I think that we all feel that urgency. I think it's pressure that we feel as a group from the first whistle of the season, is that we feel that urgency. It's a long season, and there's lots of bumps and bruises and ups and downs. There can be, but I think we're all in that point now that we see we're in the second half of the season, and you kind of see the finish line isn't too far away, and there's certainly an urgency for us to find that first is to find that solid foundation, that one, and then to build off of that, which I think the group is poised to do, but we need to get the first one just to get that emotional momentum back in our favor.
Thank you, Greg.
You got it.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.